How's it going, guys? And welcome to another session of the Let's Talk Interlingua. As usual, I am your host, Mike Ruiz, and today we are going to talk about a beautiful topic, but however, it can be quite controversial sometimes. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's something that feels more complicated than it actually is, or the other way around. Maybe you take it lightly, but there are some things that you need to consider, some things that might take a little work. And that's friendship, your friends. How many real friends do you have? But I'm not talking about the people you know. I'm not talking about being an acquaintance to someone. I'm talking about being a real friend. Friends who support you, friends who tell you the truth, friends who also tell you when you are screwing up, when you are not doing things the right way, when you are losing your way a little bit, who tell you, hey, yo, chill, calm down. You're not all right. Do you have someone like that in your life? For how long? Is it a new friend? Is it an old friend? How do you build this trusting bond with a person? What does it take? Does it take years? Does it take a couple of days? Be sure to share your experience with us in the comments. And let's also bring our guests for today. They have been, I like to call them veterans of the Let's Talk show, because once more we have Poncho and Maripaz. Yay!
Hello.
How's it going, guys? Hello.
All good, Mike. How about you?
I'm a little allergic. I hope you guys, I hope the people can't tell, but I'm all pumped up. I had my coffee, so I'm ready to have you guys, and good to see you. Good to see you once again, and of course, thank you so much for participating in the show, especially with a very, I don't want to say touching topic, but maybe very personal topic,
A little bit.
like friends, yes. So let's hope everything stays cheerful, even though for things that are a little complicated. So feel free, like I told you, to share as much as you like. But friendship, trust, bonds, three very heavy questions, which brings me to the first one. How can you build up a friendship with a person? Poncho.
Wow. I
Hey.
don't know if there are any clear steps on building friendship, but I think that what I have looked for in life, in my friends, is just seeing people for what they are. Not for what they have or what I can get from them, other than what they have inside, their personality or their character, their knowledge. Obviously, there is always some kind of interest, but as long as the interest is clear and the interest is something that the person can give you, such as support, advice, or even make you laugh, have happy moments, I think those are the things that can build up a good friendship. Honesty, being able to tell the truth to your friend and knowing that your friend will accept it, even if it's something hard to swallow. Maybe the person will appreciate you telling the truth to him or her.
All right. Maripaz, same question.
Hmm. Well, I feel we don't ask ourselves this question quite often because it just happens. Oh, you sometimes just get friends. That happens in life. It starts when people get you. I feel they get you in a completely different level. Maybe they won't be all that similar to you, or they can share some aspects of their lives with you. But first, these people get you. You feel that they really know you and they also accept who you are. And then it's just a matter of companionship. And if you keep a friend for a long time, that means also that this friend has been able to stay with you throughout many different stages of your life. And maybe they are not always there. It becomes harder when you are an adult, right? But they are with you, they support you, they check on you. Hey, man, how are you doing? I feel it's a matter of keeping up with them throughout their lives. And that's mostly it.
Because of social media, everybody knows each other. You have like 100 contacts, 1,000 contacts. Some celebrities even have millions. But really, how many of your contacts in social media are your friends? What do you consider to be a friend? Poncho.
Okay, when we come to this point of social media, it becomes even more complicated. I think that you can make friends through social media, but personally speaking, I haven't made any friend through social media. The people that I have in social media that were my friends before that are there, but I haven't met anybody through social media that I can say, oh, I made a friend through the internet. No, like on the internet. That hasn't really happened to me. I don't really chat or interact that much anymore on social media. Lately, I've been getting a little away from Facebook, for example. So I don't really, I don't really chat in there anymore. Instagram, I only use it for watching videos and stuff, but not talking to people. So WhatsApp is the app that I use to get in touch with my friends, but that's more like exclusively for chatting, right? So it's a tool. I consider it a tool and not a hub where you can just enter and do different things like watch pictures, videos, I don't know, do several activities. WhatsApp is only for talking to people that you probably already know. Somebody must have given you their phone number and you try to keep in touch with them through that. So, I don't know. I haven't met new people through social media on.
Okay. Maripaz, what do you consider to be a friend?
I would say the biggest difference with a friend is maybe, again, you get to know the person, they open up to you, you open up to them, and then you become regulars in your life. That is what I would say. They make their appearance, you support them, they support you, and then suddenly you have a new friend. I have made a few friends through social media, but I think I was not open to it at the beginning. I thought, no, these are just people random people who would make a comment on your site or on your page. But then if you are kind of open, or I don't spend that much time on social media either, but if you stay there for a long time and then you enter some pages that have a common interest, then you may make a friend. The difference with acquaintances is I feel they don't know you very deeply. I would say that they get to know you very superficially. That doesn't mean it's like they don't know the real you or whatever, but the connection is very much shallow. And it's always been like that. Like you can know people. When we used to go out when we were children, you have maybe your neighborhood friends and they were like, hey, and you played together. But you didn't know a lot about what was going on in their homes, in their lives. And it's the same now. You can chat with someone for a little bit and Yeah, they're nice. They are acquaintances, but you don't really know much about them.
You mentioned something that I want to point out. When you are friends with someone, yes, you open yourself to that person or to those people. However, what limits or boundaries do you guys think need to exist in a friendship relationship? Poncho.
Boundaries. Oh, it's very difficult. Um,
Yes, limits.
I want to go back to what Mari said about maybe you meet people when you are a child or an adolescent, and you meet people and you start to become friends because you have similar tastes uh, at that point in life, but you don't really pay attention to what is probably more important when life goes on. You know, um, I was reading these three different characteristics of friendships according to Aristotle, and it's like pleasure, convenience, and virtuous friendships. You know, and I think that when you're an adolescent, you go a lot for convenience and pleasure. You know, people you have a lot of fun with, but they are kind of probably shallow friendships. You're not looking to make a real deep bond. But what I've noticed is that the friendships that have lasted the longest in my life have been the ones where the other people and I connect the most with deeper things, with uh, our probably how do you say this? Our perspective of life, you know, not like the video games that we like, or just the music that we like, or the places that we like to go to, but probably deeper things, or the way that the postures that we have, um, even political or philosophical ideas that we can have. So that's what I wanted to go back to, because I think it's important. Like, yeah, what is a friend, or what I consider a friend? My real friends are the ones that I can really talk to deeply. And the boundaries that you're talking about, well, I don't really know. I think that there should be respect. I mean, you can have relationships where you can play and probably go heavy to each other sometimes, but I think that there should be like respect at all times, so you don't get to a point where one of you gets offended and then something bad can happen to the relationship. I think that's important. Respect.
All right, Poncho. What about you, Maripas?
I was also thinking about the boundaries. I think everyone has their little details that they don't like to be disrupted. I don't, as I grew up, I don't appreciate when my friends visit me out of nowhere anymore. Before, I think it was very, "Hi,
Oh,
what's up?" And you could make plans that same day. And now, to me, even if you call me, I will feel it's an emergency. I will feel, oh my God, something happens. Like, who died? I appreciate it when they only send me a message and I know that they're fine, and that it's nothing very urgent, that it can wait. I like that. But I feel it's different for everyone. The boundaries they will set. There are some basics, but I feel that with a friend they understand what they are. I don't have my friends usually crossing my boundaries. That doesn't really happen much.
Poncho, as I understand, you have a friend whom you have maintained a relationship, a friendship relationship, since you guys were 14 years old. However, he now lives in in another part of the world, the Netherlands to be exact. And for what you told me, he has been around and lived in many places. But the first time, he said to you, "Hey man, I gotta move out. We're not going to be, around each other that often." How did you take those news? How did you feel?
Well, I have to give you a quick summary of his life because he wasn't born in here. So he was born in Belarus. He lived in Belarus from age 0 to age 3. Then he went to Israel, and he lived there until he was 8. And then he moved to Canada, obviously with his parents. No, up to that point, he was an only child. But when they arrived in Canada, his parents had 2 more children. So he lived in Canada from age 8 to age 14. But he arrived there as a refugee, like a political refugee, It was some kind of strategy that some people used to use in order to move to better countries, no? So, I don't know, you come from Israel and you say that for ideological reasons or religious reasons, they are persecuting you, and you asked for asylum in another country. So they went to Canada. And at some point, the government of Canada asked them to move out of the country so they could fix their residence papers, which is, in my opinion, absurd because they let you live in there for a long time, but when they are going to fix the papers, you have to move out. So the cheapest and closest country was Mexico. I only interacted with him for 3 months when I met him. It was like a vacation for him, But we became so close during those 3 months, and we had so many things in common. We were very different in other aspects, but we had so many things in common. His birthday was on the 22nd of September. Mine is on the 27th. So it was like we saw each other as brothers or something. So when he had to move from Mexico to Canada again, we kept in touch. I visited him when I turned 15. And then I went back there again when I was 18. And then he visited me when he was 21. And then he took me to San Francisco some years later, and he has been inviting me to the Netherlands for 3 years, but I haven't been able to go. But we've always kept in touch. We've always been very close. We've always talked as if we were never separated. We haven't lost that freshness of the relationship. It's not like we are kind of strangers now or as if our interaction has changed. We've been the same, and it's always been a very, very nice relationship with him. So for the question that you asked, when he said that he was leaving, I was really sad. I was really sad, but I mean, it was 3 months, so I was sad, but I don't know, for some reason, we have been able to keep in touch.
As I understand, at one point, you visited him when he was living in San Francisco. When you visited him, of course, I imagine it happened like, whoa, it happened like a long time since you guys saw each other. So, when you guys interact even today and back then, what has changed and what has stayed the same between you guys?
Well, I don't think many things have changed because, as I told you, we can talk the same way. Maybe we have grown a little more. Maybe we've matured, supposedly. I mean, the conversations are probably about different things, but the honesty that we have and the things that we can say to each other when we think that something is not well, or we can give our opinion freely, directly, and honestly. So I think that's one of the best things, that's probably what has changed a little bit. Like the fact that he's married, he was married, now he's divorced, but I mean, he was married, he has children, I don't, so we cannot talk about our children as such, but we can talk about other things, and we still, I think that we still have a very close relationship.
In your case, Marimbas, as I understand, Speed Racer went by. As I understand, you have also a friend that has been in a friendship with you for a long time. So, as I understand, you've been friends with your best friend for 25 years. Wow. So I imagine you guys met when you were like little kids. But how was that? When and where did you guys meet?
That was interesting because we met in school. We lived very close. I think we lived in the same area all of our lives. So it was weird that we hadn't met up before. So we started going to this same middle school together. And at first we had different friends from our previous schools or things like that. And we also used to argue a lot because we were not agreeing on the same things. But then we decided, like one day it was, hey, I like you a lot. We should definitely be friends. Yes, okay, we will. And we started spending a lot of time together. We went to each other's houses. We got on the same soccer team. So we would train after school, and we were always late. I don't know why. I mean, it was in campus. We were always late. And then we had to run around. We ran for hours. It was very exhausting. And I just bonded instantly with her. I knew she had to be my best friend. And then we went our separate ways, where we continued to see each other with our group of friends. We always went to the movies or had the usual things. And when we started going to the university, Adriana and I just kept in touch. And if we needed some help in each other's projects, we would go and support each other. Like she has to film some videos, some very amateur kind of things. And I told her, yeah, I'm here. What do I have to do? What do you need? And it was like that forever. I never questioned that we were going to remain being friends, and anything, like if she called me right now, like, hey, you need to come, I would do that. I think it's such a strong and such a crazy thing to be like that with another person that I don't really imagine my life without her, because she's always been there, and then she had a kid. Yes, she had a child, and I've never really wanted to have a child in my life. Thank God that's never happened. But I was shocked, and I didn't know how to react. I don't adore children or whatever. And the relationship changed a little, but I was also there for her because she also needed support, and she needed to talk, or, hey, can you do this for me? Yeah, if I can do it, I will. And now, actually, her child is all grown up. She's, I think he's 11, 12. And now, like, he's exactly the same age as when we met. It's funny to think about it. But I know him, and we also have a decent relationship. He's a good kid. But I don't really picture. I think we almost had a fight once yes, I stopped talking to her because, she I felt she was not available to me the same way I was to her. Not in a, hey, you owe me this, hey, you owe me something. But I felt like I couldn't see her and just have coffee, and she was always working, and she was like, hey, can you come? Because, let's get together and put up a stand and sell these things. And I was like, please stop working. Like, oh my God. To me, I have a completely different life also. But I, of course, admire her greatly because she's a single mom, and she also has to work every day and go pick up her child from school and do all these things. It is very hard, but she's very hardworking, very dedicated, very professional. I feel that I've also learned a lot from her. I didn't think I would. We are the same age and stuff. But I admire the woman she's become. And we fixed that. It was very funny because Adriana just called our mutual friends and said, hey, Maripas won't talk to me. What can I do? And then they talked to me, and it was a whole drama. But I feel that can happen if you have a long relationship, years and years. You can occasionally fall out of that. And then you go back because you value that person so much. Not the time that you have been with them, but if you really, really like who this person is, and you feel that it was some misunderstanding and it's something that can be fixed, you just remain friends.
It is time to wrap things up. But first, let's close this show with our now traditional rapid fire session. So, what do you prefer? Visiting a friend or having a friend to come over at home? Poncho.
Having a friend come over.
Okay, Marifat?
I would say visiting a friend. I always visit my friends either in their businesses or at their homes, and I like that.
Okay. From your experiences, having a male friend is different from having a female friend and vice versa. True or false? Poncho.
It's true. True. For me,
Okay.
it's true. Like, it's yeah.
Yeah, there are many, I wanted to say some, but yes, there are many differences. What about you, Maripas? True or false? Is it the same, equal, or yes, or there are differences?
No, I feel people may have very different energy, and that's just my perspective. I have male friends who have this really big feminine energy, and I have to be very careful towards them and their feelings and things like that. And then I have these female friends who are like, no, I don't care, you do whatever, come wherever you can. And I feel the people are very different in general.
Okay. This is an interesting round. And knowing a lot of people or having a handful of friends, of real friends? Poncho.
Handful of friends. That's how my life has been. Like, I've got few, but very, very close and very good friends.
All right, Maripaz.
I prefer that 100 times.
I feel you can kind of do both, but like your friends, this handful of friends has to be your priority. No, you have to take care of them as much as you can. So yes, a handful of friends.
All right, guys. And for all of our viewers, thank you guys for tuning in as well. Be sure to click on the links. Be sure to tune into the Let's Talk show on a weekly basis because we have different guests, different topics, a whole new every single week. But that's it for today. Poncho was with us, Maripaz was with us, Eric Rios was in the controls. I am Mike. Goodbye and good night. Bye.